everyone, and welcome to February's Tech Tip. My name's Katie Carnes, and today we're going to be talking about Adobe Spark. I do want to say, if you're tuning in on Facebook Live, thanks for coming, and also thanks for being flexible. I know this was supposed to happen yesterday, but as you can see, I'm just now getting my voice back, and yesterday it would have been a lot raspier. So I'm trying my best not to cough throughout this whole thing, so just bear with me, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So like I said, this month we are talking about Adobe Spark. It's one of my favorite tools, and I think you guys are really going to love it. It is a great way to create engaging, eye-catching course graphics, especially if you don't have access to Photoshop or Illustrator, some of those professional, expensive design tools. You can create professional graphics in minutes, and the tools are easy to use, they're easy, they're intuitive, and they're also free, which is a great thing. Adobe Spark, it uses a lot of their concepts from their professional tools, like I said, like Photoshop and Illustrator, so you can do a lot of those simple, easy things like layering text and filtering, all on Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark was kind of designed for the rise of social media bloggers and influencers and vloggers and all that kind of thing. So you'll see a lot of things that are really more designed for social media posts, but I'll show you some ways that you can use it for your courses as well. So it's not, don't overlook it as just a social media tool, because it's not that at all. It's very powerful. It's also great if you don't trust your design skills. Anyone can be a graphic designer with Adobe Spark, because they really help you they guide the process a little bit for you, and they also provide inspiration throughout every step. So if you don't trust your design skills and you're like, you know what, I'm not artistic and I'm not good at this, then Adobe Spark can really help you with that process just built in. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to click over to this screen here. All right, so we're at Adobe Spark, and first things you got to do for most things is create an account. It's easy and free. There is a premium version, but the free version is incredibly powerful, and that's all I'm going to be using today. So I'm not using the premium version at all. So, like I said, you create an account. I'm not going to show you how to do that. That's going to take too long. So I'm already logged into my account, and this is the first screen here that I'll meet. So I'm going to come up here to this blue plus sign, and this screen's going to open here. So it's got all these different inspiration. Like I said, they provide inspiration along every step in Adobe Spark, which is really nice. You could just click on one of these and just change the text. So if you see something you like, you're like, that's perfect, that's what I want. You can click on it and just change the text and customize it to how you want. If you're like, that layout's great, I don't need my own thing. But what I'm going to do today, I kind of know I want to create my own. And what we're going to do today, too, is I'm going to create a course header for D2L. So for an online learning class, I'm going to create a header. So I'm going to come down here to go to create a graphic. And once again, they provide more inspiration all along every step. And I'm going to go to start from scratch. All right, so I'm actually going to make if you'll give me a second, I'm going to make my screen here just a little bit smaller. That way you can still see me, but still see what I'm working on in front of me. All right, so they want you to select a size for the layout. So if you are working on graphics for your course, I would stick to maybe square or landscape. That's just under the popular feature, or it's also under standard, I think. So I think that's just your best bet. Honestly, it's probably square is a good one. That's just, it would fit really well if you're using it within text or wrapping text around it. Square just is usually a good one to use, or landscape if you need something longer. If you're creating a PowerPoint slide, if you want like a PowerPoint background, then you would come to standard and you would click on slide and widescreen. So those are options for you as well. But today we're going to create a course header for, like I said, the D2L online class. And we have custom dimensions for that. So I'm going to go to custom, and I'm going to type in those dimensions. So the width is 1170 pixels by 230. All right. So now I've got a screen where I get to choose my photos. One of the best things about Adobe Spark is they do a great job of just filtering out all of the bad stock photography that's out there. And they do a great job of making sure that what you see in front of you and the options that they give you are just really nice. They're not outdated. They're not cheesy. You might find some cheesy ones in there here and there, but honestly, most of the ones that they provide are really, really good choices. So my hypothetical course that I'm going to design the header for is a nutrition course. So right here is where you would type in the keyword. So I'm going to type in nutrition. And then now I've got all these great options. Also, I do want to mention right here, I don't know if you can see, there's an upload. So if you have your own image that you want to use, then you can upload it there. All right, so nutrition. I've got great options in front of me. I'm just going to scroll down, look for something that I like. I know that I've got a horizontal bar, so I really kind of want to keep that in mind as well, because some of these are portrait or vertical. So I don't really want to choose those because then I'll have to kind of mess around with it a little bit more. These are great options. I really kind of want to choose one that, there's lots of different nutritious things in the world, so I don't want to just stick to one different type of fruit, which some of these are. So I'm going to choose this one here. This one is a great little market scene of a lot of different fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to click, I've got my image. I'm going to click next. And this screen pops up here. So they've automatically kind of given me a color scheme. And that's just what Adobe Spark does. Like I said, they've also kind of chosen a font for me, just at random. They're kind of like, you can start here, start with this. The one thing you want to keep in mind, if you like what you see, just stick to that. However, you do have to keep accessibility in mind, and you need to think about contrast as well. So sometimes Adobe Spark is not the best about that, and they might give you an option that's like a light yellow on top of a slightly darker yellow or something like that, which is just hard to see, and it doesn't meet our accessibility standards. So you need to be careful about that. All right, so double click. That's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my text. So I'm going to type through nutrition. So you could do like nutrition 101 or whatever the CRN is, or if you want to put the CRN on there, whatever text you want to do. I'm just going to do nutrition just for the example today. So I made it really tiny. So the first thing I'm going to do is drag these sides. You see that little circle that comes up? Drag the side and make it a little bit bigger. All right, that's nice. I also want it centered in the middle of my image, and these little guiding lines pop up just to help you figure out where the center of the image is. All right, so I'm in the center. Okay, I mean, it doesn't look bad. The contrast is not great. You've got kind of a dark, warm color on top of it's not bad. It's not, I just don't think it looks very good. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. So what I've got behind me are a lot of organic fruits and vegetables, kind of going for a little bit more of like a organic look. So what I have now are, I am guessing it's a font that's doesn't quite give off that vibe, and I've also got a very defined text box behind me. So I'm going to change those things up just to give it a little bit more of an organic vibe. So I'm going to come over here. I've got my text selected, so I've got the text screen open. And I'm going to come to font family, and I'm going to choose, and they've got all these great fonts for you. You can also upload your own font, but honestly, these are all great, really popular ones to use, and really good choices. All right, so we've got a lot of different good ones, and right now I've got Playfair is a good choice. It's easy to read. That's another big thing. You really don't want to choose one that is real curly or script, like this one. That's kind of hard to read. Any of the script ones, that one's nice because it does look more natural and organic because it's handwriting, but it's hard to read. So just really your best bet is stick to one that's easy to read without and it's not cursive. All right, so I'm going to come up here. I liked this one, Harmon Sands. That's a good choice. So easy to read, and it doesn't have quite as, the edges are a little rounded, which gives it a little bit more of that organic feel. So you also have the options to left align, center align, right align. My options now, that doesn't really make that much of a difference. I think if I do that, it just kind of changes the R a little bit. So the capitalize and fit, if you did have a different choice, if you wanted like nutrition, so see if I just did right align and then I did capitalize and fit, then that automatically capitalizes and kind of centers your text for you, so you don't have to go through and capitalize every letter afterwards. So, but anyways, I'm going to go back to Harmon, and we're all good to go. You can adjust the size here as well, but I just think it's easier to go through and adjust it at the corners. All right, we're centered, and then letter spacing. So the letter spacing is not bad. It's pretty easy to read, but it's always a good idea just to do like, you don't want to do that. That'll give you a little bit too much. I mean, if that's the look you're going for, then that's fine, but I kind of always just give it like, maybe like 5, just some space in between, just so it's a little easier to read. All right, so that's starting to look a little better. I think I want to play with the colors a little bit. I don't really like the brown all that much. So I'm going to come over here. Right now I'm in the type screen, and I'm going to go to color. So they've automatically chosen a color scheme for me based on the picture that I decided on, which is nice. But I'm a little bit more particular, so I'm going to go through and change it up a little bit. So I always like to, I think a good bet, especially because I have such a colorful background, going with just simple black and white, or a simple white text background would be really good, because you don't want to take the eye away from, you just don't want it to be too busy. And you don't want to take the eye away from the colorful background. So I'm going to change the background text color to white. So this is where so I've got current colors. You can also shuffle them as well if you wanted to, if you want to flip-flop what you have. But I'm going to go to change color. All right, so I'm going to click on white, and that changed the text color. I'm going to switch that. Also, I don't really like the brown all that much either, and I'd kind of like, this is what I usually like to do, is I like to come and pick a color from the background. So you just come to this little color dropper tool, and I'm just going to kind of go around and see what looks good. That one doesn't look bad. I kind of like this red right here. So I'm going to go with that. I think that's starting to look really good. Now that text box is still very defined, and it's taking up a lot of the image. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to go to shape, and I want a little bit more of like an organic, something with a little rougher edges, nothing too crazy or fancy. And this is where I would go through and choose and change up the background. So let's see, I've got one in mind. Yeah, here we go. See, that one, it kind of has a little bit more, it's almost like a marker swipe, something like that, or paint swipe, which I just think makes it a little bit more of the feel we're going for. So the padding's a little much, so I'm going to bring that down. That just brings the edges in. And also, it is a lot of white. So I'm going to go back to type, and I'm going to bring that opacity down to that background. So that opacity there, it doesn't affect, it just affects the text box. It doesn't affect the actual text color. So if I went all the way down, that would disappear completely, but then you can't see it. So you want a little bit. I'm going to go up to maybe 65, just so I'm bringing the opacity down, just because I like the background so much. So kind of want you to see a little bit more of what's behind, and there's just a lot of really pretty things going on. So it's not a bad idea to bring that opacity down. All right, so actually, I'm really happy with the way that looks. I do kind of want to show you a little bit more of the other things. So you can also change the effects of the text. So you can add different outlines and cutouts and all this different stuff. So you could do something like that. That's kind of hard to read though. If I don't like that, I just come up here to my undo button, and I can go back a step, which is really nice. Style. So this is where you can go through and basically just go around and around in circles. So it'll just kind of let you try a lot of different options. Some of these are not the best though, and not very that one's not bad, but I liked what I had before, so I'm going to go back to what I had before. So you can just kind of, if you need design, if you're have a mind block or something like that, and you're like, I don't know what to do, then you can use the style suggestions if you need to. Alright, let's talk a little bit more on the layout screen. So how I got to the layout screen, I just clicked on that gray, the gray white space area. Alright, so here's colors. So this is my color scheme that they automatically chose for me. And it's, as I've changed the colors, they've adjusted it. You can look around here if you like anyone better than that. There's more elegant ones. There's bold designs. They're kind of separated into different genres. Some modern design, anything you like. So this just gives you more inspiration. The design tab also gives you inspiration. You can choose one of these and just customize it how you want. We've got layout. This is where you could add a border if you wanted to. I don't really want a border. I like what I've got, so I'm going to take that out. If you want multiple images in a post, then this is where you can add those in again. So there's lots of different options here you could add. They just kind of give you some good layouts, and you can customize those. So I'm going to keep it as is. I like where it's looking. In the resize screen, same thing. If you decide, you know what, actually I don't want a square, I want a landscape, then you go through and you can change it here. And if I got my dimensions wrong, then I can change the custom dimensions there as well. So that's pretty much, I think I'm happy with that. The one thing I don't really like is I've got that little Adobe Spark logo. So I'm going to click on that to remove, and I'm just going to click remove once. And it's going to give me the whole premium spiel. So I'm just going to exit out of that and be good to go. So the next thing I want to do is you can click the share button, and that will that could upload it to different things. I always think it's good practice to download it first so that you have the file, and then go to, say you want to upload it to D2L, or you can't automatically upload it to D2L in here anyways, but if you wanted to upload it to Facebook or something, I don't know, then I would always suggest downloading the file and then uploading it to the program that you want to upload it to, just so that you always have access to it. So yeah, I would just press download, and I'm just going to do image, start download, and it's downloading right now. And then I have access to that file. So as I've been going along, it's been saving it automatically, so you don't have to worry about constantly saving, or if you lose your work or something like that, then I'm just going to call it this nutrition. I'm changing the name up here at the top. Let's see if you guys can see that. See up here, nutrition, up near projects. So now, alright, and it's saving it for me. And now I'm going to go to my project screen. So these are some of my past projects. So if you just need to get back to that at any point, I think you can just click on projects up here at the screen. So now it's saved in my projects. I always have access to it, and I can download it later. Can duplicate it, download it, or delete it, or rename it, anything like that. So, and it will save all of your past projects here in this screen as well. So that's just how one way to create a course header. There's lots of different ways you can create graphics. As you can see, I've used it for lots of different things, and I even use it for my own tech tips. So you can see this is where I create my opening, intro, and outro screens for this program. So, but yeah, I think that's. Let me go to the webcam again. All right, well, that's all I've got for Adobe Spark. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And tune in next month for our March Tech Tip. But if you have anything that if you have any questions, or if you have a project that you want to do and get started in Adobe Spark, then feel free to contact us. You can contact CC, or you can contact me directly, and we would be happy to help you guys out. But yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.